lessons. They're going to be really good. All right. So does anyone know what a prime number is? Anyone having any idea what a prime number is? Hello, Oliver. What is a prime number? Yeah, well done. It only is divisible by 1 and itself. Okay? So the number 7 is what we call a prime number. No. The number 7 is the prime number. Yeah? Because you can only divide it by 1 and itself. Okay? The number 5. What about the number 5? Is that a prime number? Yeah. Because the number 5 could only be divided by number 1 and number 5. What about the number 6? Is that a prime number? No, it's not a prime number because you could divide it by 3, 2, 6, and 1, but still you have other factors. Okay, so we kind of got what a prime number is, yeah? Now the next step is to figure out what is a square number, right? So a square number, if I said 1 times 1, okay, is 1. 2 times 2, 4. 3 times 3, 9. 4 times 4, 16. We call all of these numbers square numbers. Okay, what do we call these numbers over here? Square roots. They are the roots of the square numbers. Does everyone get that so far? Okay, so what we're going to do is focus on this today. Okay, so there's now next, after a square number, we have cube numbers. So 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. What about 2 times 2 times 2? 8. Yes, Asad. 27. So we call all of these cube numbers. And what do we call all of these numbers? Well done, Tayami. What do we call all of those numbers to the left? Well done, Asad. Well done, Bethany. Is it Bethany or Esme? Well done, Oliver. No. I think people are going with their old numbers. Look, it's called cube roots. Well done, Laura. Well done, having that. No, 3 times 3 is 9. 9 times 3 is 27. All right, Esme. Okay? So those are what we call cube numbers. Make sure you do join the 11 Plus resource group as well as my group. Link is in the description. Okay? Now, if I listed the, let's say, 5 times table, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, and so forth. And I listed the 2 times table, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, blah, 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 blah. What do you notice? What is the first number that's in common? Number 10. Okay. We call this the lowest common multiple. And the next common multiple, if the first one's 10, what's the next common multiple going to be? Well done, Assad. What's the next common multiple? Exactly, Taylor. 20. Next common multiple, 30. It just keeps on going up by the same multiple, so 10. And so forth. Yeah, it never stops. That's why we call it lowest common multiple, because we only need the first one. Is there any such thing as the highest common multiple? Can you have the highest common multiple? What's the highest common multiple? What's the highest common multiple? You can't. You can't have a highest common multiple. It goes up to infinity. You understand? You go to infinity. You go 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, okay? So you can't have the highest. Okay? Now, can somebody tell me, all right? Let's choose a number. Okay? Let's choose the number 30 and the number 45. What are the numbers that multiply to give me the number 30? Does anyone know the numbers that multiply to give me the number 30? 10 and 3. Well done. That's 1. 5 and 6. Tell me in pairs so I don't miss out any. 1 and 30. 2 and 15. Did I write down all of them? Always write them in pairs. Okay. What about 45? 9 and 5. Good. 1 and 45. Good. Arjan, Asad. Arzan. What else? Well done, Tayami. 3 and 15. Is there any others? Now, from these numbers, which number is the highest number? No, I mean in common, in both of them. In both of these. 15. Well done to Anthony Oliver Arzan. 15. Okay? And we call this our highest common factor. Well done, Joseph. Okay, it's called our highest common factor. Now, there is ways we can find this out, the lowest common multiple and highest common factor, easy. And I'm going to show you it because I'm such a great teacher. And you're going to be like, oh my God, why didn't my teachers show me this? And I'm going to be like, yeah, because I'm better than them. I'm not egotistical, only a little bit. Okay, anyways, so we're going to get started, okay? Before I show you the cool method of finding out your highest common factor and lowest common multiple, which you would still use when you're doing GCSE higher, okay? We first need to learn the product tree. Well, when I say I mean you need to learn it. I don't need to learn it because I know it already. I'm going to show you how to do a product tree, okay? What two numbers multiply to give me 120? 10 and 12, well done. Now, are these prime numbers, 10 and 12? No. So we got to still go for it, yeah? 5 and 2. Now, my question, are these prime numbers, 5 and 2? Yeah, so done. I circle them nice and neatly. What about the 12? Can I split that up? 6 and 2, well done. Now, are these prime numbers? Are these, no, well done, Oliver. The 2 is, good, I circled the 2, but not the 6. I could split that one, 3 and 2, then I'm done. Okay, I'm over, it's all over. So how many 2s do I have? How many 2s do I have? 3 lots of 2s, so I put it 2 to the power of 3. How many number of 3s do I have? 1. And how many 5s do I have? 1. Does everyone get that? Okay. If you don't get that, go on the website. Okay. And there's some homework sheets to help you with it. Okay. So next, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do the same thing, but for the number 75. Okay. So what numbers multiply to give me 75? Five and 15. Well done, Tammy. Well done, Anastasia. Now the 5 is a prime number, but not the 15. Okay, Josh, I'll try and remember it. Well done, Assad. Well done, Haminette. Well done, Oliver. 3 and 5. Is that done? Yeah. So 5 squared times by 3. Yeah, well done, Oliver. Well done, Anthony. Now, is this all done? Yeah? Does everyone get that? So I'm going to rub this all out. Okay? I'll rub this all out. And what we're going to do, okay, we're going to draw big circles. Okay? Because I want to do art nowadays. You know, math is a bit boring. I want to start doing art. So I'm going to draw 2 big circles. 1, wow. Oh, perfect. Just like all of you. Okay? So I've got 2 circles, yeah? Venn diagram, exactly. That's what we call it, a Venn diagram. So we call one of them the number 120, and we name the other one Josh. No, we'll name it 75. Okay? Now, what we're going to do, we're going to find numbers that are in common in both of these. Okay? What number is in common with both of them? 3. Well done. So I put the 3 in the center, and I cross the 3's out. What else is in common? 5, but how many 5's are in common? How many 5's are in common? Only 1. Okay? This has 2 5's. This has 1 5. So they only got 1 5 in common. But the 75 has an extra 5. So I'll put the extra 5 there. Does everyone get that so far? Okay? Because 5 and 5 make 75. 5 squared. And the 120 only has a 5. Okay? Now, the 120 has a 2 to the power 3. So I'll write it there. Okay? Now, I want you to all do me something, a favor, okay? Can you look at this? All right? This section over here, I want to color it in nicely. Let me color it in nicely. Okay, so, all right, we got it. So that section over there, okay, is known as what? Our highest common factor. It's not vomit. Okay, which is 3 times 5, which is what? 15. So our greatest common factor, or highest common factor, you could say, is 15. Now, our lowest common multiple, okay, you're just going to multiply all the numbers. Now, you're doing your 11 plus, so you're not allowed a calculator. But because I invented these questions, you could use a calculator because maybe it will become too big. The number will get too big. Okay. And if you multiply all of these, you should get the number 600. Do you see? I just multiplied all the numbers. Every number. The ones in the middle, the ones in the other boxes, everything got multiplied. Okay. Now, like I said, all right, you could go on the website. The website has homework sheets for this also. And during this week, we have 11 plus math exam question lessons where we go through real exam questions for 11 plus, and we'll be focusing on factors. So real exam questions where you're going to put this into practice. So if you are ready for your 11 plus, you want to get in, come here, okay? I'll get you to Oxford University. I won't get you into a grammar school. I'll get you to Oxford. So come along, okay? So we're going to go and do some more examples, okay? Each one of us, all right? I want you to do the number 50 and the number 45. Okay, do that, please. Find out the lowest common factor and the highest common factor and the lowest common multiple, please. Okay, some people are getting these numbers. Okay, well done, Harinette. Oliver, you got one highest common factor. Asad, well done. Harinette, well done. You don't have a calculator. That's a shame. That's a shame. I would have lent you my calculator. Well done, Asad. Well done, Laura. Not quite, Oliver. Vaspir, well done. Oliver, not quite. Rhea, well done. Zoom, Miles, for the Zoom code, watch the free code. Well done, is it Joseph or I forgot. Josh. Well done, Josh. Okay, let me do this. So the number 50, I could split it into the number 10 and the number 5. And I'll circle the number 5 because it's a prime number. The number 10, I could split it to the number 5 and the number 2. Done. The number 45, I could split it into 9 and 5. The number 9, 3 and 3. All of these are prime numbers. Okay, so I got 3 squared because I got 2 lots of 3s. And I got 1 lot of 5. Does everyone get it? Okay. And the number 50, I got 5 squared because I got 2 lots of 5s. And I got the number 2. Okay. Now I'm going to rub out these numbers over here. And I'm going to draw 2 neat circles. Well, the computer will do it for me. Are you ready? 1 neat circle. The other neat circle. Okay. So what have they both got in common? Well, they both have the number 5 in common. Okay. But the 50 has 2 lots of 5s. So I'll call this 50 and I'll call this 45. And I'll put an extra 5 in there. Yeah, it can be neat. Now, the number 50 also has the number 2. The number 45 has a 3 squared. Okay? Now, what they both have in common, okay, highest common factor, is the number 5. So the highest common factor is the number 5. Now, the lowest common multiple is the number 5 times by the number 2 times by the number 5 times by 3 squared. So the lowest common multiple, okay, if you multiply all of these numbers, 5 times 2 times 5 times 9 is 450. Does everyone get that? Okay, we're going to now try and do Give me a moment. Okay. We're going to now do 3 numbers. Are you ready to cry? We're going to do 3 numbers. Is everyone ready for 3 numbers? This is what comes up in your 11 plus. Doing 3 numbers does come up sometimes, okay? So we're going to learn how to do 3 numbers. All right? So we've got the number 25, the number 40, the number 15. Now, the 25, okay, you could split it as 5 squared. The number 40, 8 and 5, 2 and 4, 2 and 2. So you got 3 lots of 2's, 2 to the power of 3, times by 5. And the 15 is just a 3 times a 5. Okay? So now I'm going to rub out all of this and I'm going to draw 2 circles. I got 1 circle. I got another circle. Okay. And I got another circle. Right? So the number 25, okay, they all actually have a number 5 in common. All of them have a number 5 in common. But the 25, so I'm going to call this one the 25. I'll call this one the 40. And I'll call this the 15. The 25 has an extra 5. Does everyone see? The 40 has 2 to the power of 3. The 15 has the number 3. Now, what's the highest common factor? So the highest common factor is what they all have in common, which is the number 5. And the lowest common multiple, okay, is all the numbers multiplied by each other. So it's the 5 times by 2 to the power of 3 times by 5 times by 3. So the lowest common multiple, if you do this calculation, gives you 600. Does everyone understand? Okay. The next one might be actually a bit more tricky. Okay. Sometimes you have to put a number in between these. And what I mean by that, okay, so let me give you some examples. Let me go back here. Actually, we'll change it a little bit. Okay. Let me just show you. Let's change this to this. Okay, let's just imagine it was 5 to the power of 3. Does everyone see what I changed? I just made it 5 to the power of 3, yeah? And I'm going to show you the difference. So they all have the number 5 in common, yeah? This is not 5 to the power of 3, by the way, to make 40. Just ignore that for now. Okay, we'll just call it 40 just for the namesake. Okay, but the 25 and the 40 have 5 squared in common. They have 2 lots of 5s. So I'll put another 5 there. Do you understand? Now the 25 and 40 share 2 squares, 2 5s. Does everyone get that? But the 40 has an extra 5. Does everyone understand? The 40 still has 3 5s, okay? But now the 25 and 40 have 2 lots of 5s at least in common. And the 3 only has 1 lot of 5. Does everyone get it? It satisfies all the rules. Okay, so you do need to know this method when you're dealing with GCSE higher, because believe me, I've seen the GCSE higher questions and they expect you to know this. Okay, so we're gonna do the number 40. Okay, I want you to do 40, 56, and 60. Well done, having that. That was quick. Not quite, Tammy. 60 would be no. What do you mean? 22 two times. No, because 10 is not a prime number, Tammy. Not quite, Assad. Well, if you find it easy, come to the exam question lesson. We're going to be doing a lot more of this. Not quite, Raspir. Well, Raspir. I'm going to start doing this. Or should I wait? Not quite, Ria. Okay. 40 is 4 and 10. 10 is 5 and 2. 4 is 2 and 2. So I got 3 lots of 2s times by 5. Yeah, that is the lowest common multiple. Okay, 56, 8 and 7. So I'll write 7 over there. That's the first prime number. 8, 4 and 2. 2 and 2. Okay, so I got 3 lots of 2s. Okay, and that is done. Now I've got one more to do, number 60. So 60 is 6 and 10, 5 and 2, 3 and 2. So it's 2 to the power 2. Ah, goodness. I'm going to have to squeeze the 60 somewhere else, okay? Excuse me. So 60, I have to write it as, okay, it was 2 to the power 2 times by the 5 times by the 3. Okay. So I got all of those numbers done. Now is the hard part. No, it's not the hard part. It's the fun part. No. This is the last question. I'm going a little bit over because I'm having so much fun with all of you. You've been all amazing. Okay, so I'll just do 3 circles. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I'll call one of them 40, 56, 60. Now, what do they all have in common? Well, look, they all at least have 2 to the power 2 in common, okay? That is 2 to the power 2. The others have a bit extra. So I write 2 to the power 2, but the 40 and 56 have an extra 2, okay? So I'm just going to put between the 40 and 56 an extra 2. The 56 has the 7. The 40 over there, okay, and 60 over there have a 5. So I'm going to put a 5 between the 40 and 60. And 60 has a 3. So my highest common factor is the number in the middle, which is 2 to the power 2. So that's my highest common factor, which is a 4. My lowest common multiple is all the numbers multiplied by each other. So my lowest common multiple ends up to be 840. Does everyone get that? Yeah? So I'll see you next time. Okay? And do remember, if you want the 11 plus, okay, this week, forever, we're doing 11 plus classes. Okay? Real exam questions for the 11 plus. That. Come to the foundation classes also. They're good. So this stuff, that stuff. Key stage 2, algebra worded style questions. Like there's so many classes that will benefit you if you're doing your 11 plus. That class, you could come to you could come to as many classes as you want, and they're all priced for the family. But anyways, take care. I hope you all have a nice day. You've been amazing, all of you. Okay, thank you very much. Bye bye.